Aloha! This is Dr. Joe Kipo with the Power Compass Podcast, and welcome to today's episode. Now, if you've been following the podcast or following these videos for a very long time, you notice it's been probably several months since I've actually posted anything. The big reason is that I've had this huge project that I've been working on at my office, and it's taken up a lot of my time, a lot of my mind energy, and so I'm finally at a place where things are kind of starting to wrap up and they're coming together in my practice. And so now I feel like, okay, I got some time. I can get back, get on rolling, doing these videos, doing these podcasts, getting some information out there that I hope can really help you out with your life today. So thank you for being here again. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being so patient with me as I've tried my best to be able to figure out my schedule and get my time going again. I'm sure you understand. You're all out there. You're all out there being busy, trying to be successful and trying to do those things that are passionate to you. You're doing those things that you feel like are the right thing for you to be doing, and sometimes they take a lot of time, right? And so thank you again for taking your time for being here. But today I wanted to go over something that I feel like is really important to talk about. Uh, and maybe when you've listened to my podcast, if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll notice that I love talking about perception. I love talking about your beliefs. I love talking about what's going on inside your head. I have found that when you take the time to figure out what's going on inside your head, what's going on inside with your thoughts, your beliefs, and so forth, that if you can be the master of your thoughts, the master of your beliefs, then ultimately you're going to be able to create greater success in your life. Whether that's success with your family, with your friends, with your workplace, with your business that you're trying to build or that you're trying to maintain, whatever it might be, most of what you need to be focusing on before you get into anything else is always about what's going on in between your two ears here and what's going on with your thoughts and your beliefs and so forth. So I want to talk more about that today. I want to talk about actually decisions. Now, one thing that I've learned from one of my most recent mentors, David Bayer, is that a lot of the limiting beliefs that we have in our lives really simply are just decisions. They're decisions that we've made in our life. They're decisions where you've come to decide because of some sort of situation, because of some sort of event in your life, you decided that, you know what, money is hard to get to make, or you've decided that, you know what, I'm not good enough to be able to be successful, or maybe you've decided that, hey, I cannot be a good parent to my children because of these different patterns that I have from my family, from my parents, whatever it is. So these limiting beliefs that you have going on in your head are simply decisions. Now, why is it so important to be able to like decide that limiting beliefs are decisions? Well, if you think about it, a lot of times when you've ever been in the personal development realm for very long, a lot of people talk about these limiting beliefs that are controlling our lives. And so uh, then you're told, okay, now I need to work on these limiting beliefs. I need to change them. I need to get rid of them, whatever it is, whatever you need to be doing. And sometimes that's hard, especially if you're thinking, oh my gosh, these are things that I've had for like 30 plus years, 40 plus years, 50 plus years. And now I'm in a position where it's like, now I've got to change that. If I want to be successful, I need to change that limiting belief that I have in my mind. Oh my goodness, it took me 40, 50 years to get that. Then how long is it going to take me to be able to change that? Well, if you can now take that perception shift and realize that the limiting beliefs that you're dealing with are actually just decisions that you've made, then you can simply just make a new decision to believe something different. It's that easy. When you're maybe you're in a situation, let's just do a really quick example. You have probably made plenty of decisions in your life where you've just decided, you know what, I no longer like this type of food in my life. I'm going to start eating this type of food. And you made that decision. You made that decision, you started eating this type of food, and then now you're healthier and happier, whatever it is that made you decide to start eating that food. It really can be that easy to change your limiting beliefs if you just realize that they're just decisions. Now, the name of the game, though, in relation to decisions, is then now figuring out what's going on, what type of decisions that you have on there that are actually limiting you. And I like to call them disempowering decisions. And once we can figure out these disempowering decisions in our lives, then there's an actual process you can take yourself through that will then allow you to be able to create more empowering decisions in your life. So I got a list here. I have a list of some of the most common beliefs or decisions, disempowering decisions that I've come across in my own life with the different mentoring clients I've worked with, different patients that I've worked with. These are some of the top limiting beliefs and decisions that people have in their life. So let's just go through those real quick. So maybe it's I'm too old or I'm too young. I believe I'll believe it when I see it. I'm sure maybe you felt that at one time. Oh yeah, I don't believe I'm going to be successful until I see it. I don't have the money or the resources to be successful. Simply, I can't. That limiting decision, I can't. I don't have enough time. I'll never break through my income ceiling. Change is too hard. Not trying is actually better than failing. I'll never be successful. I don't deserve nice things. There's no point in dreaming big. I'll always be broke. I don't have the right education or experience. I'm not important. I'm not ready. I'm not strong enough. Everything is fine as it is. And I wasn't born into the right kind of family. And then number 19, I don't deserve to be happy. Now, did any of those ring true to you? Did any of those make you feel like, oh my goodness, I have been living that particular decision, or maybe even there's a list of those decisions that you have found that you've been living in, and these are the actual blocks to you being successful. Blocks to being able to create greater and deeper relationships with your family. Blocks to being able to finally reach that income level that you've been looking for. These are all the different decisions that are really common among most of us and really common to be found that need to be looked at. So if you're in a situation where you're like, I don't know where to start, you're telling me that there's these limiting decisions, these disempowering decisions that I need to change, but I don't even know where to start. Well, if you're not sure where to start, here's a good list of 19. I'll actually post them in the comments with this video, with this podcast episode, so that you can have that list in front of you, and then you can go through the process that we're going to talk about today. But what I actually want to do though today is that I really want to focus on the top three of this list. Now, the top three, the reason why I'm going to bring these three up is because these are the ones that I find are the most common out of that 19. And these top three, I'm going to give you what the actual limiting decision or the disempowering decision is, and then I want to talk about the empowering decision that you can start making to be able to break through that particular perception or belief that you have in your life. So number one is I'll believe it when I see it. Now, how many of you have actually been in that situation where you've had this potential? Maybe someone has come into your life and they're giving you that idea of, hey, you can finally be successful with your family. You can be successful in your business or with your job. You can finally be successful with money. You can be successful with your health. That you're being told these things, and maybe the very first reaction you have is, yeah, right. I'll believe it when I see it. Now, why is this such an important thing to realize that you could be dealing with that? Well, if you're coming from a place of, yes, I will believe it when I see it, what happens, that actually shuts down your brain's ability to be able to see what you need to see to move forward. Because you're saying, I will only believe it when I see it, and you automatically shut down your body's ability, your brain's ability, your intuition, your ability to be able to see what you want to believe. And that's one of the interesting things about this particular decision, is that if you don't see what you want to, if you don't see it, you don't get it, right? I mean, how many times you've been in a situation where something was right in front of your face, something you were looking for, and yet you don't see it, you don't get it, you don't grab it. You've been in those situations where someone finally pointed out, what's right there in front of you, and you look down, oh my gosh, there's my keys, they're right there, they're in my hand the whole time. Or maybe you've been in those situations where you were on the phone and you're looking around for your phone. Where's my phone? It's right there in front of you. And so when you have this particular disempowering belief and decision in your life, it actually prevents you from being able to see what it is that you want to accomplish in your life. Okay? So it's really important that we go ahead, become aware that you most likely have this paradigm, you most likely have this disempowering decision if you're in a place where you're not accomplishing what you want to accomplish. And so dig that up, see if you've got that. Now, if you do have that, here is the breakthrough decision. Here's the empowering decision that you can actually replace it with. I'll see it when I believe it. Let me say that one more time. I'll see it when I believe it. So another way of thinking of it is that when you'll see it, I'll see it when I believe it. That's basically telling your brain that once you believe that you can accomplish that particular success in your life, then you're going to see it. If you really truly believe that you can accomplish that particular situation or event or whatever goal it is that you're trying to accomplish, then you're going to eventually see it. Because simply by making that decision is that I'll see it when I believe it. You're telling your brain that, okay, I believe that this is going to happen for me. So now look for evidence of this happening. Okay? So then what happens is that your brain clicks in, your brain realizes, okay, we believe this is going to happen, so we need to be looking for evidence that this is going to happen for us. And so you start actually seeing the different things in your life that will lead you to that particular success. It could be that you start seeing the particular opportunities that you need. Maybe you start meeting with the different people that are going to help you get to a certain situation. Or maybe just simply it's been there the whole time. And once you finally believe it, all of a sudden your brain wakes up and you can see, oh my gosh, there it is. The opportunity is right there in front of me to be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So feel the difference between those two decisions. The first decision again was I'll believe it when I see it, which shuts you down. You won't be able to see anything. Then if you change that around to I'll see it when I believe it, opens up your brain's ability to be able to see, your intuition, all those different things, to be able to clearly see what it is that you want to achieve in your life. All right. All right. Number two is I can't. Simply those two things right there. I can't. So now every time you say I can't, you actually give away your power of being able to be able to accomplish that thing. So a really good example that I've seen in my own life is I absolutely love American Ninja Warrior. I love the show. My family and I have finally gotten into it of training and actually training to do obstacle course racing. And now I'm in the situation where I can actually apply for the show because I'm feeling really confident. I can get on the show. I've got the personality. I've got the things that I think the producers would love to have on the show. Okay, which is beside the point. Anyways, so but when my family and I have been training, we've been able to see two different personalities, I should say, or decisions that people have done. And we've been able to see that when we train with a certain group of people where they have that attitude of I can't, what ends up happening is that they spend a lot of time and energy working on a particular skill or working on a particular course, and they really don't accomplish it. They really don't get through every single course, or they don't get through every single skill. They just don't get it. It's like their body just won't work for them, and they literally are saying out loud, "I just can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that." Right? Then there's the other ones, which is usually the coaches. It's usually the people who have been on the show. They've been really successful with actually doing this Ninja Warrior training. When they don't accomplish something they want to accomplish, I rarely ever hear them say I can't. I end up hearing them saying I can't right now, but I will. I will do that. In fact, usually the breakthrough belief that I hear them saying is, how can I do this? How can I? And usually within about 2 or 3 minutes, you'll see that person accomplish that skill that they're trying to achieve. Whether that be like a 9 or 10-foot lache, where you're jumping from one bar to another bar, or whatever the skill is. I see it over and over and over again. Those who keep saying I can't do it literally end up not being able to. And those who do say I can't do it right now, but how can I do it eventually? Usually those are the ones where within a few training sessions, they've blown through that barrier that they had, and they're now accomplishing that particular skill that they're doing. Now that's not the only place I've seen that. I've seen that attitude also work when a lot of other places. When it comes to like finances, I see a lot of people, it's like, I just can't afford that. So again, they're shutting down their body's ability, their brain's ability to be able to see how they can literally do that or accomplish that thing with money. And I've seen it in my life, though, is that when I've had that attitude before where I say, I just can't do this, I can't afford that, I can't accomplish that. And I get shut down. I can't see the ideas that I need. But then when I start saying, I can't do it right now, but how can I do that eventually? How can I accomplish that income level? How can I actually move forward with this particular area with my finances? And eventually those ideas come, the people come into my life, the power of coincidence gets activated in my life, and I start attracting things into my life that help me be able to accomplish that goal that I've been looking for, and it comes. All right. So again, so the number two common paradigm or common limiting decision I see with people is I can't, and the breakthrough decision that you can start using is how can I? You're actually asking yourself the question, how can I? Which actually that brings me into another thought that I should bring up at this point. One of the really neat things about your brain and your mind is that it is literally wired like a search engine. So anytime that you ask yourself a question, whether that's consciously or subconsciously, your brain actually turns on as a search engine to go find the answers for that particular question. So if you're asking yourself questions that are disempowering, so if you're asking your questions like, why is this happening to me? Or why can't I accomplish this thing in my life? Why am I not successful? Why am I not more patient? What happens? Your brain goes right into those questions, says, well, this is why you're not patient. This is why you're not successful. And so you start getting a list of reasons why you aren't successful, which that doesn't do any good for you. Okay? All that does, it keeps you stuck in this area of not being successful, not being patient, not having the income you want. But if you can change yourself around and start asking questions more like, how can I? How can I be successful? How can I increase my income? How can I actually be more patient? Your brain plugs that in, starts searching, says, well, maybe you can be more patient by going to this class and learning how to control your thoughts. or, or, hey, there's that video Dr. Joe put together about patience. Go watch that video, right? Or whatever it is, your brain will actually start looking for reasons to be able to accomplish that particular goal. Sometimes they come right away. Sometimes they come after asking that question in the middle of the night, and you wake up with this great idea. Okay, it doesn't. It works every single time. It's not going to be right on, on your time schedule. But if you're asking empowering questions, you're going to get empowering answers that help you move forward with success. All right. All right. So now number three limiting decision is I'm not ready. I would say this is probably one that I struggle with quite often. In fact, let's just bring up the American Ninja Warrior thing, because that's kind of on my mind a lot lately with all the training I've been doing. But last year, I actually had the opportunity to be able to turn in an application, turn in my video, and be able to apply for the show, but I didn't do it because I had in my mind the thought that I'm not ready. But looking back in hindsight, I was totally ready. I wasn't as good as an obstacle course runner as I am now. I wasn't as strong, didn't have as much endurance, and those type of things. But I really was ready. I was in a position where I definitely could have put myself out there. I could have been on the show, and by the time the show ran around, I would have been much better than I was at that moment. So maybe I wasn't as ready as I thought I could have been, but I was pretty ready. I was pretty ready. I'm much more ready now than I was then. But now I could have accomplished being on the show last year, and then I'd be way ahead of myself because I'd already be a part of the producers' minds. I'd be out there already. I'd already had that experience of actually participating on the show and running those courses, and I'd be even far more further with my training and with my skills than I am now. But I missed out on that opportunity. So I'm not doing that again. I'm ready. I'm moving forward. So the breakthrough perspective is all is well. So if you're running that limiting decision of I am not ready for this, The breakthrough decision or the empowering decision is all is well. So sometimes we get so absorbed in making excuses about the different things that are going inside our life that we actually miss out some of the best situations. Okay, so instead of being afraid of what if like failing or being afraid of making a mistake and all that stuff, if you more have this attitude as all is well, all is going to work out exactly as it's supposed to. I have faith that my higher power is leading me down the right direction. Everything's going to work out very well by the time when I'm done. I'm going for it. That's a much more empowering decision. That's a much more empowering way of looking at life, is saying, you know what, all is well. All is going to work out exactly as it needs to, and I'm going to move forward with this. Come failure or come success, I'm moving forward, because moving forward is actually a better decision than stopping. Because in this life, I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but you're not you're no one is really standing still. You're never really standing neutral in life. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward. So if you have that limiting decision of I'm not ready, you're literally moving backwards. And so having that perception change, having that new empowering decision of all is well, everything's going to work out exactly like it's supposed to, you're going to be moving forward. You're going to be moving forward no matter what happens at the end, you're going to be moving forward. So essentially what we've already talked about this, but what's going to happen when you start changing these decisions? When you start looking at your limiting beliefs more as decisions, when you start looking at your disempowering decisions and making them into empowering decisions, what is going to happen for your life? Well, we've already talked about it. You're going to be moving forward rather than backwards. You're going to be able to see clearly what it is that you need to do to be able to accomplish that success or that goal that you're wanting to create. You're also going to be able to be in a place where you can activate the power of coincidence in your life and start attracting the different people, the different situations, the different things into your life that are going to help you accomplish the success that you want. Okay, so uh, I want you to take this audio, this video, however it is that you're watching it right now. I want you to take these ideas. I want you to start putting them into practice. And the best way to do that is to journal. The best way to put all this into place is to journal. And so I want you to start off with those 19 disempowering beliefs, the most common ones. And I want you to look through that and say, okay, which ones do I have that I could work on? And I want you to find maybe 3 or 5 of them, that you can work on. I want you to go ahead and put them into a journal. Give yourself a little bit of space in between each one of those limiting decisions. And I want you to write down what would be the empowering decision instead. So like we already said, if your disempowering decision is I'm not ready, then I want you to write below that all is well. And then what you're going to start doing is that you're actually going to start looking at that, and you're going to start looking for evidence in your life that proves to you that all is well. And then I want you to start saying all is well. It's almost like an affirmation, okay? Every time you're in a particular situation, I want you to start saying your more empowering belief. If you see that disempowering belief come up, then come to your empowering belief and start saying that in your life, and start looking for the evidence of that empowering belief in your life. And as you gather that evidence, I want you to write it down. And then you're going to start looking at this every single day. And that's going to give you the opportunity to be able to start rewiring your brain so that you can actually start rewiring these different limiting decisions that you've created. And now you're going to have a book full of empowering decisions, evidence, and all that that's actually going to rewire you to be a more successful person. So I want you to take that challenge this week, go for it, build that journal, build those new decisions, build that evidence, and watch what will happen over the next 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, however long it takes for things to change. But I'm willing to bet by the end of the month of you doing that, you're going to start seeing some really neat things happen in your life. So, as always, I'm so grateful that you took the time to listen to the podcast, to watch this video. I hope that you've really enjoyed what I shared with you today. If you have any comments, please leave some comments below. I try my best to answer comments. Also, if you ever want to get a hold of me, you can always email me at drjoe@mypowercompass.com. That's DRJOE at mypowercompass.com, and I usually try to answer my emails within a couple days. Also, if you have a particular subject that you would love to hear me talk more about, or if you have a particular question that you would love for me to answer on one of these podcast episodes, then email me. Shoot me an email and say, hey, Dr. Joe, I'm having struggles with this. Can you help me by answering this question? Or can you talk more about such and such subject so that I can share this with my family and my friends, or I can be able to make this breakthrough in my life. Whatever it is, contact me. Let me know. And if you happen to be in a place too where you're just stuck, you don't know what to do with your life, you need some sort of breakthrough. You're going through all these different videos, you're going through all this content online, and you're still not able to make that breakthrough, and you just need that one-on-one connection. You can always schedule a breakthrough call with me. I give free 60-minute breakthrough calls, and all you need to do is just go to mypowercompass.com/breakthrough. Breakthrough call, actually. I'm forgetting what the exact address is. I'm so sorry. That's horrible for me. I will leave the exact address in the comment sections down below, so that down below the video or the podcast description, so that you can just click on the link and it will send you right to my booking page, where you can book that free 60-minute call, and we can get together and see what we can help you out in relation to being able to help you create greater clarity, greater direction, and achievement mastery in life. So this is Dr. Joe Kipo. Talk to you later.